Mstislav Vsevolodovich Keldysh was a Soviet scientist in the field of mathematics and mechanics, academician of the USSR Academy of Sciences, president of the USSR Academy of Sciences, 3 times Hero of Socialist Labor, Fellow of the Royal Society of Edinburgh. He was one of the key figures behind Soviet space program. Among scientific circles of USSR, Keldysh was known with epithet, the chief theoretician, in analogy with epithet, the chief designer, used for Sergey Korolyov family. Keldysh was born to a professional family of Russian nobility. His grandfather, Mikhail Fomich Keldysh, was a military physician who retired with the military rank of a general. Keldysh's grandmother, Natalia Keldysh, was a cousin of famous General Alexei Brezilov. Keldysh's maternal grandfather, Alexander Nikolaevich Svortsov, was a general of infantry, a hero of the Caucasian War. Keldysh's father, Vsevolod Mikhailovich Keldysh, was a civil engineer, major general of the engineering service, and a full professor. He was a distinguished engineering scientist of Soviet Union since 1944. He was one of the authors of contemporary methods for calculating the strength of reinforced concrete, and a designer of the Moscow Canal and Moscow Metro projects. Several members of the Keldysh family were victims of political repressions. In the 1930s, Keldysh's uncle was sent to a labor camp on the White Sea-Baltic Canal construction site. In 1935, Keldysh's mother was arrested but after a few weeks was released. It was a part of the campaign of collecting gold from the population, but after Keldysh's father brought all the jewelry the family had, the unsatisfied NKVD officer returned all this garbage back. Keldysh's brother Mikhail, a historian who specialized in medieval Germany, was arrested in 1936 and executed in 1937 as a German spy. Quote, in 1938 another of Keldysh's brothers, Alexander, was arrested as a French spy. Alexander was spared because of the slight liberalization of the repressions during the transfer of the NKVD leadership from Nikolai Yezhov to Lavrentiy Beria. Being acquitted in the court, the strongest influence on Keldysh was his older sister, Lyudmila Keldysh, a noted mathematician and Keldysh's first teacher. Among her children, Leonid Keldysh, director of Lebedev Physical Institute, and Sergey Novikov, a famous mathematician. Biography. Keldysh was born in 1911 in Riga. When he was 4, the family evacuated to Moscow during the First World War. In the first years of the Soviet Union, he was refused entrance to an institute of civil engineers because of his attachment to a noble family. In the next years he managed to enter and graduate from the Physics and Mathematics department of the Moscow State University. He obtained employment at the Central Aerohydrodynamic Institute under Mikhail Lavroniev and Sergei Chaplygin. Working in Zagi, he explained the auto-oscillation effects of flutter and shimmy. Both works were mathematically beautiful and practical. Both were important as both effects were responsible for many aircraft catastrophes at the time. In 1937, Keldysh became Doctor of Science and a professor of Moscow State University. In 1943, he became a corresponding member of the USSR Academy of Sciences. He got his first Stalin Prize in 1946 for his works on aircraft auto-oscillations. In 1943, he also became a full member of the Academy and the director of NII, of the Department of the Aviation Industry. He also headed the Department of Applied Mechanics of the Steklov Institute for Mathematics. During the 1940s, Keldysh became the leader of a unique group of applied mathematicians involved in almost all large scientific projects of the Soviet Union. Keldysh created the Calculation Bureau that carried most of the mathematical problems related to the development of nuclear weapons. The Bureau is also credited with design of the first Soviet computers. In 1947 he became a member of Communist Party. Keldysh's main efforts were devoted to jet propulsion and rockets, including supersonic gas dynamics, heat and mass exchange, heat shielding, etc. 1959 saw successful testing of the Soviet first cruise missile, which displayed better performance than the Navajo missile being designed in USA at the time. In 1954 Keldysh, Sergey Korolyov and Mikhail Tikhonov submitted a letter to the Soviet government proposing development of an artificial satellite to orbit the Earth. This letter began the effort that culminated in the world's first satellite, Sputnik, in October 1957, which marks the beginning of mankind's space age. In 1955 Keldysh was appointed chairman of the Satellite Committee at the Academy of Science. In recognition of his contribution to the problems of defense, Keldysh was awarded the Hero of Socialist Labor and the Lenin Prize. In 1961 he received a Second of Socialist Labor Medal for his contribution to Yuri Gagarin's flight into space, the first person to orbit the Earth. In 1961 Keldysh was elected President of the Academy of Sciences and kept this position for 14 years. Concomitantly he became a member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. His last scientific works were devoted to creation of the shuttle Buran. In 1962, he was elected a member of the Supreme Soviet of the Soviet Union. Keldysh was 67 when he died. He was honored with a state funeral and his ashes were buried in the Kremlin Wall necropolis on Red Square. Awards and honors. Keldysh was a member of many foreign academies of sciences, including the Mongolian Academy of Sciences, Polish Academy of Sciences, Czechoslovak Academy of Sciences, and Romanian Academy of Sciences. He was also an honorary member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, Hungarian Academy of Sciences, and Royal Society of Edinburgh, foreign corresponding member of the German Academy of Sciences, and Saxon Academy of Sciences in Leipzig. Keldysh was awarded the USSR State Prize, Lenin Prize, 6 Orders of Lenin, 3 other orders, numerous medals and 4 foreign orders, the crater Keldysh on the Moon, and a research vessel academic Mstislav Keldysh named after him. A minor planet, 2186. Keldysh, discovered in 1973 by Soviet astronomer Lyudmila Chernik, is named in his honor. A street has been named after Keldysh in the district of Plavnieki in his native Riga, Latvia.